Hey guys, it's Ann. Welcome to my home worm farming channel, and thought I'd let you see what the wormery is up to so far. You can tell what I'm about to do on this nice long weekend. And there's blue up there. I've got the windows blocked out, and I'm thinking about epoxying the floor, but I don't know if that's going to work. Anybody who's done epoxy on a old floor, let me know. Did it work? Did it not work? Anywho, let's get to it. Let's have a look-see at blue today. And yeah, those concrete steps are for me because blue is far up in the air for me now. So up I go. And let's have a look at blue. So as you can tell, we have got some pumpkin or squash seedlings of some sort over there. Might even be watermelon. Not sure. And then I do believe, even though that looks less finished, I think we did feed down here last time. So let's kind of push back that top layer that's really kind of dry. I have a fan going down here. There's been a lot of humidity problems. So let's dig in and take a look and see what is going on. Nothing. Well, that's disappointing. I think I see something over here. Ooh, okay, it looks like we've got, at the very least, we've got some blue worms in here, and thought I saw a red wiggler. But at the very least, they are here. I know some people said keep watching out for babies. Hopefully we'll start seeing a lot more in the way of baby worms. Oh, look, there we go. Good worms. Yes, finally. Oh, I know that a lot of you that are new worm farmers or maybe haven't been in the channel for a long time, the mice at my former house ate almost all of my worms out of blue. And to see even a small worm ball like this just fills my little heart. Yes, excellent, good. So we're getting somewhere. I just need to get that moisture back up. Again, maybe that fan shouldn't be pointing at this particular, area of this small room. It would probably do better if I, pointed it away from the bin instead of towards the bin. Lots of just regular coconut coir right here right now. I did pour just basically some compost or some soil from potted plants that didn't really make the trip. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to see if there's any cocoons. I'm actually seeing some potworms right here. As soon as I get my new computer, I will be able to use my old program again. But just looking, I also got an update. If you've been here for a long time, I did do a review of a microscope that you can clip onto your phone. And the company just sent me an updated version that is supposed to be able to get you even closer. So with my naked eyes, with my readers, I'm not seeing any cocoons just laying on top right now. And normally if you do see them, they're kind of a bright yellow, or if they are close to hatching, they will be brown. But what I am seeing more of than anything is potworms, which is interesting. That's normally a sign of overfeeding. So it's possible that there's quite a bit of that electric compost that maybe still has quite a bit of nutrients in it that is creating this, excess that is causing the potworms. Now, the potworms are a normal part of your worm bin. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. Don't try and go get neem cake or something to kill them off. They are helpers, as are any of the pill bugs you see and mites. I know a lot of time they creep people out, and I'm serious. The mites creep me out quite a bit. I have quite a bit of hair on my arm, so I feel them if they're crawling on me. So that is super creepy. But in the reality of it, this is an ecosystem, and we don't want to kill the ecosystem of the worm bin. Everything feeds into each other. If you had, and I know I did when I first got into it, I honestly thought it was just going to be worms and some kind of bedding and me giving it food. I did not really expect there to be an inside ecosystem, even though, believe it or not, my degree is in ecology. I didn't expect that the universe would want to recreate that inside, or that it would even have the ability to create it inside my house. Some people are talking to themselves right now going, I don't really want an ecosystem in my house. You know, wherever your worm bin is fine. If you have it outside your house or inside, doesn't matter. For where I live, in the ever-changing USDA zones, I actually can't, or I don't choose to have mine outside because it goes pretty much dormant in the winter. Although in my garden, you know, I do find red wigglers. As soon as I turn over the soil in the spring, I actually do find red wigglers. Speak of the devil. There's one of my little red wigglers now. Hello, buddy. Yeah, that one's name is Buddy. All right, so just turning over these sprouts. We don't need a pumpkin forest in my basement. And there's some more worms. So even though the moisture for, if you watched my videos in the old house with all of the critters and everything that was in the house at that time, I would not be unhappy with the finished end of the bin being this moisture. This moisture is getting very, close to being able to be sifted. But for this worm bin at this moment in time, it is nowhere near ready to be harvested on either end. There's way too much going on here. Even if you look at this part right here, still lots of bedding, still lots of coconut coir. So I need to continue to let this go. All right, so although it's hard to see the electric compost, in case anybody's counting, this is a 3-year-old pumpkin stem. Get in there. Yeah, hamster just fell right off the wheel, right there. Anyway, so even though, that's where I was going with this, it's hard to see the electric compost because it looks a lot like coconut coir. But what I am going to do is, I've got some real people food. People are like, we don't just want to watch you feed compost to the worms. And so when I did have my last batch of tomatoes go bad because I think stink bugs were stabbing them, really irritating. I didn't get that many tomatoes here, and to have the stink bugs get at them really kind of made me unhappy. So let's give these guys some real food. I'm not going to give them any more bedding because, as you can probably tell, this is a lot of coconut coir from house plants that didn't make the move very well. So I'm just going to make a little hole here, and then I'm going to dump the real food in here. Kind of spread it out. These are frozen. Isn't that annoying? You think, oh great, my last couple of tomatoes. And then you find out they look like this on the other side. Boo! So then, of course, there's the garlic. Still have some garlic left over. It's not going to make me all through the winter. Get me all the way through the winter. But it's better than nothing. So we've got our tomatoes here, and we already saw that the population is back up and running. So I'm going to do kind of a double feeding. I'm going to give them those tomatoes there, but then here through the middle, because I know I do have a population right through the middle, I'm going to give them about 2 handfuls, and I don't know if you can tell, but there is a lot of cardboard material in this particular batch. Anytime that I put things like apples or tomatoes that are going to be very liquidy and squishy into that electric composter, I do try to offset that with adding more shredded cardboard to the electric composter, just so that I guess it doesn't have to work so hard in order to get the job done. So I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to hit pause here for a second, and then we're going to get some water and get the moisture in this bin back up to an acceptable level to breed me some more worms. Okay, so now I have my water up here, and for those who are new, this does not have drainage holes. It's just sort of a gravity system. From when I was backing up, let me do that again so you can see. This end is a little bit higher, this end is a little bit lower, so in the event there is extra fluid, it will actually gravitate towards what I am using as the new end. I do have one like air hole from when I thought that was what it needed. My worm farming is ever evolving, so what we're going to do is I'm going to keep it nice and keeping it moist. Thumbs up for everybody who can tolerate the word moist. And then down here at the business end, we're going to give that's probably 2 liters. I'm going to let that soak in. It probably could use another one, but I think that's going to do it for today. And with any luck, this weekend, I'm going to put the wedge back together. Hopefully I haven't lost any parts in the move. I had some drywall to do today and spent 5 hours looking for my spackle knife. I was just determined not to purchase another spackle knife. 5 hours later, several side quests and a nap, and I did find the spackle knife. It was in the last box that I looked in. And so with the drywall project done, now tomorrow, I can actually work on putting the wedge back together. All right, guys. Well, I know it's been a long time since we've had a decent length video around here. So if you like the video, go ahead and give it a muddy thumbs up. If you're not a member of my worm family, hang on, because we are getting going again. We're getting the band back together. We've got 2 bins right now, soon to be 3. Who knows? I might even buy African night crawlers again. God help me. All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with me and my worms this afternoon.